All right, so in the world of AI, two huge moves just happened that on the surface look like they have absolutely nothing to do with each other. You've got Google, over here, quietly unveiling a pretty groundbreaking compression system. And then, at the same time, OpenAI announces this massive pivot for Sora, their viral video generator. But what if these aren't separate stories? What if they're actually two sides of the same coin, and they're revealing a whole new battleground in the race for AI dominance?
So to really get what's going on, we first have to dig into the one fundamental problem that pretty much every major AI company is struggling with. It's this hidden bottleneck that's really holding the entire industry back.
So, what is this big, hidden problem? Well, it's not about how smart the models are, or, how much data they've been trained on. No, it's something much more fundamental. It all comes down to memory.
Okay, so think about it. Every time you chat with an AI, it has to remember your entire conversation to keep context, right? Well, this short-term memory, the technical term is the KV cache, it just balloons in size really, really fast. And that makes the AI slower, it drives up costs like crazy, and it forces these companies to use incredibly expensive, super powerful hardware just to keep things running. It's like this silent resource hog, just eating up power in the background.
Now, this is the exact problem that Google just took a massive swing at. And they didn't just try to, make a small improvement. They went for a fundamental, deep tech engineering fix that could honestly change the entire economics of AI.
They're calling it TurboQuant. And the idea is actually pretty simple. Take that massive, expensive memory cache and just shrink it way, way down. But, and this is key, without losing any performance. If they can really pull this off, it is a total game changer.
And the numbers they're claiming are just staggering. First up, they're reporting at least a 6 times reduction in memory usage. Now, to put that into perspective, that means for every 6 gigabytes of memory an AI needed before, now it only needs 1.
And it gets even better. On top of that huge memory saving, they're also seeing up to an 8 times speed improvement when the AI is actually generating a response. I mean, that's faster answers, at a lower cost, using less powerful hardware. It's just a win-win-win.
So how in the world does this work without totally breaking the AI? Well, it's this remarkably clever 4-step process. First, it's data-oblivious, meaning it works on any data, instantly. Then it kind of shuffles the information around so it's all spread out evenly. After that, it breaks that data into tiny pieces and compresses each one. And then finally, and this is the magic trick, a special process comes in and makes sure the AI's answers are just as accurate as they were before. It's just an incredibly elegant piece of engineering.
This breakthrough is so significant that, as this quote shows, people in the know are already joking about it being Pied Piper, from the TV show Silicon Valley, that mythical algorithm that was going to change computing forever. I mean, that tells you everything about how big of a deal this could actually be.
Okay, so while Google was deep in the engineering weeds solving this core problem, OpenAI was dealing with the exact same pressures, cost and scale, but from a completely different direction. Not with a technical fix, but with a total strategic overhaul.
And this timeline just illustrates their pivot perfectly. Back in February, Sora dropped and it just blew everyone's minds. A massive, massive hit. But then, just a few months later, OpenAI announces they're killing it as a standalone product. The big question is, why? Why would you do that?
Well, the answer is basically a perfect storm of pressure. First, generating video with Sora was just incredibly expensive. It was eating up all this precious GPU power. Then, a planned billion-dollar deal with Disney fell through. And on top of all that, they were already running into some intellectual property headaches with Hollywood. You can see how Sora just became unsustainable on its own.
So here's the crucial part. They're reallocating all those resources. The new plan is to focus on a powerful new model they're calling Spud and to integrate everything, video generation included, into a single unified super app for your desktop. They're shifting from a really cool tech demo to a full-on productivity ecosystem.
And this, right here, brings us to the heart of it all. You've got two giants, both facing the same underlying problems of cost and scale, but they're choosing two completely different paths forward.
This table really lays out the two different philosophies perfectly. On one side, you have Google, laser-focused on technical efficiency. They're playing the long game, betting that a fundamental engineering breakthrough can make all AI cheaper and more scalable for everyone. Then, on the other side, you've got OpenAI, who's all about product strategy. They're not waiting around for a technical miracle. They're restructuring their whole company to build a dominant, all-in-one user ecosystem right now. It's a classic battle, isn't it? Deep engineering versus market domination.
So, what does this all mean for the future of AI? Well, it signals a massive shift in the competition. It feels like the whole industry is kind of growing up.
For the last few years, the race was pretty simple. Who can build the biggest, smartest model? That was it. But that era, it might be coming to an end. Raw power alone just isn't enough to win anymore.
The new battle is all about execution. It's about who can take that incredible power and make it efficient enough, affordable enough, and integrated enough to be actually useful for millions of people in their day-to-day lives. And that is what both Google and OpenAI are now laser-focused on.
Which leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? As we head into this next phase of AI, what's going to define the winner? Is it going to be raw intelligence, unbeatable efficiency, or just a perfectly seamless user ecosystem? Google and OpenAI, they've placed their bets. Now we all get to watch and see which one pays off.